shit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Cole, DCU Penn's finest, Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be doing an NBA probability game, I guess you could say, with the playoffs. For some teams coming up, offseason coming up for the other half of the league, and soon to be a couple more teams. I got, a bunch of questions or statements, I guess you could say, and we're going to rate them from a scale from 1 to 10, how likely or unlikely that they'll happen. Explain a little bit better once we get into a couple of them. It'll make a lot more sense. But before we get into any of that, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single upload for any of the great shows on this channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode, anything to push the algorithm per usual. But we got to head to Danny, Summits and Plummets, who just came back from New York for the second time in a calendar month, I guess. Third time? Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Third time in the calendar month. We live there. It's like only on Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. Good time. That's not the summit. The summit is national championship tonight. Really excited to see this national championship. Think it's going to be a great game between two really, really well-talented teams. And I know we didn't plan to talk about the national championship that much, but this tournament, although it's chalk it up on men's and women's bracket.
I mean, if it was real chalk, we'd be watching Duke right now. But Houston.
I mean, we were about 5 minutes away from that happening.
We were Duke making more than one field goal in the final 10 minutes from that happening.
Yep. And we were 33 seconds away from John Shire actually putting in a point guard. And I love John Shire, y'all know it, but please.
John Shire should have just threw the jersey on. Let's be real.
TBH, he could have just shot from half court. Who cares about dribbling?
Yeah, that's why I was explaining to our friend Darren. It was like that's just like in these situations when you go to Cooper Flagg so much. Look, tremendous player, going to be the number 1 overall pick. Like Chris told us, he's not necessarily the greatest shot creator for himself at the moment. A good passer, not a great passer, and certainly not like the primary ball handler in the nation. A good one, again, not a great one, but that's like kind of the lore of him. Yeah. He's good at a lot of things offensively. It's just like what
sounds a lot of a Duke guy that came out a few years ago, plays with Celtics right now.
Well, Tatum could shoot that thing. That's what he was great at coming out of school. I think he shot 42% from 3 his rookie year in the NBA. Where's that at? Became
Cooper's
great at everything else.
Cooper's firing in the tournament.
He was he just just like that Tatum gene. He sometimes he loves that contested fadeaway mid range, and like, look, that's what college hoops is all about. But not right now. Not against a team that has been killing you on the glass all night. Like it's just a bad shot, But
that's the shot they've drawn up, though.
Huh?
That was the shot they had drawn up for the win.
I don't know if that's the shot they probably had drawn up. I think it was more like, Coop, go save us. And it just makes me sad because Shire is such a great coach, and this is such a loaded roster. It's such a smart group of guys. And that's what y'all fall on. That's why I'm kind of disappointed sometimes, because I see Missoula draw up like great winning plays, like the one where they get it to Tatum and he's running from half court with a full head of steam, and he can choose to either take Smart's screen, or we used to run it with Marcus Smart. So take Smart's screen or go to the cup and dunk it. And as of lately, it's just like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, whoever is having the better game, you get to shoot it, and we'll figure it out. And whole time, both of them just settle for a 3. So, anyway, back to your Summits and Plummets.
Double summit, birthday week. Birthday's on Sunday.
Yes,
the big Michael Jordan year, LeBron James year.
Yeah, I was just say, watch that.
The big Maya Moore year.
I can get with that.
Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
We'll call it. See, look, when I turn 23, I've always said, when I turn 23, I have a last 2 birthday related posts have been like Drake related. And that has to do with the number. And later this year, it's going to be 23, MJ in every way. I just don't fade away. Except I'm going to cross out MJ. I'm going to put LeBron. But or how you could go, how I go from 6 to 23. No, we're not doing that.
Or you could go LBJ. I fade away like LBJ instead of MJ. Thoughts?
We could. It could work. It could work. I could put his entire government lowercase LeBron Ray capitalized Moan James. Bang.
I'm down.
Moni.
Yeah, we're cooking. I need to get I'm looking at it because me and Danny, of course, we're probably gonna, night on the town for his birthday. I'm looking into like a really nice like trench suit jacket type thing. Cause I'm afraid I'm hoping I don't overdress. So I know Danny, I'm trusting Danny to not go way over the top, but like let's say like a 10 is like a wedding. Like you're dressing for a wedding.
Dress for a
We're at like a 7 or an 8. I think I can match that with what I'm going with.
Yeah,
but if everybody's on bullshit and I pull up with what I'm wearing, I'm like, wow, okay, this is Aura farming at its finest.
You will be going out in Philadelphia afterwards. You're not in New York. You're not in Miami. You're in Philadelphia.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nah, it's just like New York's just different. Like you see people walk around and like.
Yo, Chris, if you didn't know, he's been to New York a couple times this year. But what does that have to do with? Like, I'm so confused what that has to do with what I'm wearing.
No. I'm just saying, like, you go out afterwards, so like you don't have to stay in a dive bar with like a fit on.
No. Look, bro. You and whoever we're going with, we could all pull up incredibly fitted, and the rest of the bar could be in slacks. I don't.
That's my point. Yeah,
because I need to just match you, bro. We could go to Angelo's. If you say we're putting fits on,
that's
we're putting fits on because it's your
mean?
birthday.
Angelo's is respectable. You can wear a suit.
We're going full tux to go get Angelo's cheesesteaks, bro.
Cooper DeJean style, all that.
Okay. But my point is, I just want to match you guys. I don't care what no one else is on. It's whatever you desire. Salute to that.
Salute to Darvinham.
Saw a pic of him with one of his hands out his pockets. He's become 75% Phil Jackson when he does that. Unlocks his powers. We'll go to Christo for his summits and plummets.
I think I have double summit. First summit, I got a dog on Wednesday, so that was cool. I will pick him up, but he's actually kind of asleep, and I don't want to mess that up. But if you ever saw a Build-A-Bear that moves light brown, that's exactly how he looks. So that's been cool. A double summit, like I said, I am officially going to what better be or will riot. Paige Becker's first game is a Dallas Wing against the Minnesota Lynx. Tickets
must be nice.
Tickets should be on sale in a few days, but I'm already I talked to my rep for the Mavs. He's gonna try to help me get one. So I'm excited to go see that because y'all know I love Paige. I love Enrique too. And Nafisha Collier is gonna be there. So I will be seated. I'll be seated. And I'm excited to see Paige play with Enrique. And DJ Carrington too. I know DJ Carrington kind of became a villain last year, but she's one of my favorite players to watch, and she really locks up. So I'm excited to see this Wings team this year.
Who did Carrington become a villain to? The Clark fan club or like?
Yes, bro. They hate. God forbid.
Carrington's the only person that's willing to get up in her grill. So like I'm not mad at them for not liking her, but the rest of the W likes Carrington.
They do.
It might not even be basketball related, but
they do. Yes. And God forbid she wants to play full court defense. God forbid.
You got to. Look, Clark herself will tell you it's the biggest compliment in the world.
Yes.
For a defender of that caliber to do that. So,
and do you want to let Steph Curry come up court and shoot uncontested 30-footers? No.
I mean, at this rate, I think you could. But he dropped 3 points last night.
Yeah, and that would not be forgotten. I've been sending voice messages and voicemails to all Curry fans today. Let him know that this would not go unnoticed, and he had the same game as Bronny, and y'all want Bronny in the G League. So, thoughts? I'll pass
I
it.
will say though, between the old head three, not that KD does. How do I put this? Because I don't want to say. I think between the three of them, I think KD has like the least amount of stinkers this year.
Oh, for sure.
But it's kind of just like, I don't want to say less responsibility, but it's kind of like, Book kind of does the mainstay of the playmaking for them, and
And when you're 7 foot
I don't know.
and can shoot and score like that, it's hard to have a stinker. Like I was talking about today, like with Steph's stinkers are because he's a 90% jump shooter. Like 90% of his game is shooting jumper. So he can easily have a night where he's just off. It just looks
exactly
bad. Like if LeBron go out there and get 3, like 12 for LeBron is bad. If LeBron goes and gets 3, then he had. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna switch back to the W just real quick. The 2020 high school class, girls basketball, greatest of all time. I'm putting my word in for it. Paige Beckers, national champion. Angel Reese, national champion. Cameron Brink, second overall. Was she second overall pick, or was that?
He went in 3, right?
Was she 3 or was Cardoso 3? Regardless, those two are both of them are in the 2020 class. Cardoso's a 2-time NCAA champ, and she's going to be like a perennial WNBA All-Star. Brink, same thing, always going to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. And then Caitlin Clark, unlike the others, not a champion, but has put the ball in the basket more than any college player ever. Men's, women's, D1, 2, 3.
I wonder why she's not a champion. Her second best player was like absolute bot.
Nah, Kate Mara not a bot. And look, at the end of the day, I don't want to okay, a ring is important. I also don't think, I think because of what Caitlin did, it doesn't have to be the end all be all. I still find what she did impressive. It's just like, ignoring the bot conversation that people like to have, like about, well, insert or hashtag she didn't win a national title. I'm like, look, you say what you want. You will never be able to make me unimpressed with Caitlin Clark or any of those. Like, that is the greatest. That's the greatest high school class of all time. I think that. I truly do. Sure,
Better
I
than Trevor
graduated.
Lawrence high school class?
Sure, I graduated with them. Maybe I have some bias, but and maybe I have been a fan of Paige Becker since I was like
10,
14. But like,
Cook,
because I'm like in my grade, I'm trying to think who was like the crazy, like, dude. When I was a freshman in high school, you know who like the number one recruit in the country was? Kyrie Walker. Yeah, the dude that was on that basketball like mashup thing. I don't even know what it's called. The one with the green and pink jerseys where like if you see them, it's complete nonsense. He was going off with Julian Newman. There was nothing going on for my grade of hoops. So shout out to those girls. The obvious summit. Paige is a champion. AZ Fudd gonna run the show next year, and she let y'all know what that's gonna look like. She's a beast. She's finally free from Paige Becker. She gets a well-earned break. And then I guess I have to say the other summit would be what Danny said. It's Danny's birthday weekend. We'll celebrate accordingly. And yeah, whatever he says goes, man. That's what has to be the rules.
A year went by fast, but I remember posting Danny for his birthday last year. Like I don't remember it, but I remember doing so, and it feels like that was like 5 months ago.
Maybe I remember doing it for the summit account, like,
Bro, what's happening? Is time real?
Dude,
no,
time's not real.
No.
Time's not real. So, Chris, after the winter, time accelerates through the summer, and then it slows back down in the winter.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yes, because wind. The wind doesn't let the Earth rotate.
Time is because I'm being for real. Because time is relative. When you spend more time inside, time passes slower. When you're outside in the summer more, you have more activities.
So
that makes
time
sense.
flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. I mean,
time flies when you're outside in the AMG. Thoughts?
Right outside. TT. Dude, I can't wait to get back from Puerto Rico. The caption is going to be "Tell Tony leave the motor running." Oh my god, it's a layup. It's a layup. It's such a layup, dude. Got to.
You get a pick and a whip or something if you do it.
Well, we're gonna be in Puerto Rico, so we might not have a car. But if we get a cool Uber, I'm gonna like, yo, bro, can I cook real quick?
Or low key,
No.
even if it's not a cool Uber, if it's like a relative to the town Uber, that might be even more lit. Because then you like
Even more lit. Ready?
The
A
San
scooter.
Juan mobile. Oh, a
There you go.
scooter.
That's what I'm thinking. Something like that.
No,
That's what
I'm gonna find
that'd be
a
fire.
Puerto Rican biker gang. I'm like, yo, can I like flick up one of these real quick? I got $20 for you. Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna cook for sure. But let's get into these NBA probability questions, statements, whatever you want to call them. And again, like I said earlier, the way it works is I have a statement, and we're all gonna rank whether graded 1 through 10 how likely or unlikely it's gonna happen. Basically, think about it as a more exact cap or no cap type of game. Let's head to the notes. Let's see what we got. Starting with this first one. If the Thunder fail to make it to the Western Conference Finals, they can still use the inexperienced excuse. So I guess the way to gauge this is, what do you think? Basically, 10 would be, oh, people are going to say that, oh, they're inexperienced, it's fine. Or 1 is, no, this was a complete failure if they don't win at least 2 playoff series. I guess that's a good way to gauge that one. Some of these are a little weird to rate per se, but yeah.
I would say a 6. A 6. And I say that because I think the expectations are still high. So it's still kind of a failure to an extent. So like I kind of get that part. But at the same time, just in real life, they still are a very young team. So it can still be inexperienced and being young and all that. So I think that still goes. So I say a 6, a little bit over half. Just because I think they've been so good. They've been talked about as being one of the best regular season teams ever this year a bunch of times. So I think it's still a disappointment. But in the day, your best players under 26, or I think Shea's 25 on the head. And your next best guys are well under 25. I think you still got a chance. So I would say 6.
I
like
7.
that. Yeah, Danny, you said 7?
I'm a 7 just because I feel like this team, you don't win damn near close to 70 games and not have expectations to win the finals.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess yours would be more like a 3.
Yeah, 3.
So you're closer to like, no, like that's an excuse.
Oh, okay. It's
is that starting to make sense? So like a 10 would be the closer you are to agreeing with the statement.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that makes that's a better way to put it. Yeah, I want to say a 5. I'll say a 5. I'm pretty in the middle. The way they go out could also be like for example, let's say the way the playoffs shake up and they face the Rockets at some point, and they're very unexperienced. They're more inexperienced than them. The only difference is one team is Fred VanVleet, who is a champion.
If they lose to the Rockets, it's
they lose to the Rockets. The inexperience isn't an excuse. However, let's say in the second round they see the Nuggets. The way things shake up. Let's say they see the Lakers, one of those two teams, and they lose. It's like, okay, you had the better team for sure, and you could argue you were the best player in the series with either of those teams because you have Shea. But I still expected you to win, but it's not the end all be all. It's literally the best player of our generation and then the GOAT. So I'm very split on it. I do wish that young Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum got this leash because they couldn't beat LeBron James at 21 and 20 years old, and they were like, you guys are choke artists. My God, we couldn't beat the greatest offensive prime season of all time. Let's move to the next one. This one's super similar. If the Cavs do not make the Eastern Conference Finals, at least 2 of the big 4 are on their way out. 10 being you agree with the statement, 1 being that's blasphemy, run it back.
3.
3?
I don't think they have a chance to blow this team up. This team's set to compete. They show that they're taking the next step. I don't think it's like you're taking 2 steps forwards and 3 steps back.
Yeah. I can get behind that. I'm probably a 3 on that as well, a 3 or a 4.
I see one guy leaving. Not.
Okay,
Probably Garland too.
you think it's Garland? I think that's interesting because I think offensively Garland has had an incredible year. I mean, I think you can maybe make the argument that he's maybe had a better overall offensive season than Mitchell. You can make the argument. I'm not saying he has, but I guess it shows. It would depend how the playoffs shake up. And I also believe another thing that goes into it is like I don't want to like make excuses, but this is like technically the first year of these 4 all clicking at once because Kenny Atkinson. I think with him in the mix, think about it. It's almost like a new thing. It's almost like a big 5 in a way. So I see them as like, oh, if the Celtics didn't end up winning it last year, you wouldn't blow it all up. I mean, maybe they did, maybe they would, but I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm probably at like a 4. If they had an early exit, maybe one person is out the board, and it would kind of depend how things shake up. But I think playoff wise, from what we've seen, I would say Garrett. No, I would say Garland and Allen are maybe most prone to being shipped out, but again, they should just entirely run it back regardless. What
I could see Allen getting cooked, sent out for.
Yeah, they might. Chris talked about this a while ago. Like you got to make the Allen Mobley choice, and it's kind of an easy choice. As good as Allen is, there's going to be plenty. There's going to be plenty of teams who want Jared Allen. So you'll have
the easiest choice of your life.
Yeah, if you're a GM and money's eventually got to start going to these guys, I get it. Chris, what do you think?
I think I would say a 7 or 8.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think the reason why I say 7 or 8 is I think they've seen that even though all 4 of them have clicked together at times, a lot of their closing lineups doesn't include Jared Allen. And it's because Mobley's, like similar to Anthony Davis, Mobley's strength is when he's playing the 5. He has the speed advantage a lot of times. So I think they're going to need to lean into that. And then on top of that, I think Ty Jerome walks in free agency anyway, just not going to be able to pay him regardless of who they move because he's going to command a pretty decent check. But I think they've seen with the emergence of Ty Jerome that Donovan Mitchell needs a bigger guard next to him and kind of can handle the facilitating abilities and take less scoring. So I think they need to get a bigger guard in the backcourt. So I think those 2 things that they can easily do, especially if they have an early exit, then that's your reason to get rid of both and bring in people who you think probably fit better next to Mobley and Mitchell. So that's my thought process. I think if they lose early, it gives them an out to get rid of both, if not one for sure, but both of Allen and Garland. Not saying they're not good players, but I think just what this team has right now with Strus being on the floor, Hunter being on the floor, Jerome being on the floor, you can't play 7 guys. And sometimes Hunter and Strus or Hunter and Jerome being on the court instead of Allen and Garland has been better for them, especially against teams where they have to defend and switch more. So that's my thought process there.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. I'm more so like me and Danny. It's like, oh, if they have a premature exit, I think at least I think 1 is out the door. I think 2 is a little much because especially this year, the backcourt has shown they can work together. This is probably the best that they've looked together by far. The front court, we're still kind of figuring it out. Like trust me, there are lineups with those 2 where it's absolutely outstanding. But there are defensive rating lineups where it's just Mobley and my God, like it's different. And that's just saying something because Jared Allen, as good as a defender as he is, Mobley he's going to be something special. So,
yeah. And that's my only thing too. Like I think that is what makes it because it's easier to quote unquote hide Mitchell than it is to hide Mitchell and Garland. And then the teams that you have to go through is the Celtics, where they're too big lineup, you damn near can't play it for 70% of the game because you just put you in a disadvantage.
They'll roll out Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser and beat that 2 big lineup.
Or when they're healthy, when it's Horford and Porzingis, it's like then you're negated because Horford's probably one of the best post defenders we've seen in the last 20 years as far as big men go. So that hurts Mobley, and Jared Allen isn't really a big post up guy, so it doesn't really make Porzingis work too much. So I think it's just the team that they have to go beat, which is the Celtics right now at the top of the conference, is like their best isn't equipped to beat them, in my opinion.
Yo, call me crazy. Jared Allen is what Andre Drummond thought he was.
Respect Andre Drummond. Respect Andre Drummond, rebound and champ.
He's so bad.
Also. No, he's not. He's bad on the Sixers because Sixers.
He bad now. He's bad now because he
he
be out on the town. But
Drummond was an elite rebounder.
Was.
yes,
he still is. When he plays 10 minutes, I mean, he plays 30 minutes, he gets 12 boards every time.
I guess you can't deny his rebounding, but now
he never was Shaq.
He can't crack 10 minutes. So
and
that's everything else going
practice.
on.
If you can tell me today, playing a Dim Bona NBA minutes is better than playing Andre Drummond NBA minutes.
It is. I promise you, dude.
Look, I think if the Sixers truly wanted to commit to the tank, you'd play them both.
They commit to the tank. You're right. You
commit to the tank, play them both. Let's go on to this next one. I really like this one. The Pistons have a Eastern Conference Finals ceiling. 10 being I have them booked for the Eastern Conference Finals. 1 being they are Knicks fodder in the first round.
6.
So it's 6. That gives me the feeling like they're pushing their first round matchup, potentially winning a first round matchup.
I think they could win a first round matchup. They could get hot and win a matchup. I don't see them beating the top 3 seed in the.
Let me see where they're at now because they've been fluctuating as of late. So I want to get their. If this is based on starting day, they are the 6th seed right now, a game behind the Bucks. They will be playing the Knicks in round 1. As it stands right now,
they could be the Knicks. Call me crazy.
No,
I don't think that's crazy because you have a member on the panel who also believes they could beat the Knicks and would take them to beat the Knicks.
100%. Me too.
I was referring to you. I don't know if they would beat the Knicks. Now, I don't know about a healthy.
They could.
They could. Oh, they could absolutely. I'm not picking the Knicks in like 5 games. No, absolutely not. They might have to close it back out in Madison Square Garden in Game 7. That's how.
We know how that goes. We know how that goes.
Yeah, I think that Pistons Knicks.
That is true. Could Cade have his Trey moment? Could Cade have his Trey series? Without set him up horribly, because if they are not good for the foreseeable future, I think beating the Knicks in like your second or third year of your career, it's not good at this rate. Yeah, you don't want it. It's a curse.
Yeah, I haven't been like a 7.
Okay. Yeah, I figured you would have it that high.
The team I think they can't beat is the Celtics. I think the Celtics are the juggernaut in the East, obviously. But Bucks know Giannis. I feel like they can get it done. Sixers, I don't. But I'm not a Jalen Brunson hater. I think Jalen Brunson is really, really good. But I don't see what everybody else sees. And I think on top of that, the way that the NBA lets the Pistons and Rockets play is going to translate to the playoffs more than it has in the regular season. With them being as physical as they are, being able to defend. And I think the Knicks struggling to score sometimes. Like they have their good scoring outputs. I can see them giving the Knicks a trouble. Like I said, I think those 7 games. I probably would pick the Knicks. I think Brunson and Towns are them 2 against Cade, kind of like star power. I think they kind of went out. But I can see that being their ceiling because if they win that 3-6 matchup, what's the next one? It would be
Celtics.
Oh no, never mind. So I don't think they beat the Celtics in the next round. So I would say I would bring it back down to like a 5.
It could be a fun one though.
The Heat.
I think it'd be a fun 5. It'd be a fun 5. I think
it could be a fun 5, 6, something like that. Yeah.
One, but the Celtics,
and what that matchup kind of reminds me of, not to say Cade's LeBron James, but remember a while back, those that Celtics team, they had to play. They formed the big 3. They had to play a young LeBron James, and the young LeBron James took them to 7 games.
Yeah.
Is that entirely unrealistic? I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they'll use Asar in a playoff setting. I think his game is a little bit more translatable, him and his twin brother, because, of course, the first thing that you look at with them is, okay, they can't really shoot, but they hustle and they can literally do everything else. That sounds like a certain guy who has had his struggles in the playoffs over the last couple of years, and that's Russell Westbrook, where I think the difference lies is that Asar and Amen are just flat out good defenders.
And 5 inches
like Russ, a lot of people like, he's got heart. But can you really say with your own heart that Russ is a good defender, a good on-ball defender, and off-ball? That's kind of Russ's thing where he lacks. It's like, his eyes are always too much on the ball. But those kids, They're good in transition, on ball, off ball, help like those kids are great. So I'm just interested to see how offensively that they will translate. I think I'm at a 5. I'll say a 6. They'll give the Knicks certainly a run for their money. I don't see that series being shorter than 6 games. I'm going to go Knicks in 7, but that's just how it is now. Like, let's say we're in a world where they jump the Bucks, they get the Pacers round 1. That's entirely different. And I don't know. I don't want to say that they would beat the Cavs in a series, but they certainly match up with the Cavs better than the Celtics. Like, let's say if we're in that world, probably boost me to like a 7, boost me to like a 7-8, because then they go from winning their just hardly winning or pushing their first round series to I think they win their first round series against the Pacers, and then they probably push the Cavs if that's the case. So it depends on the world that we're in, but I'll say a 6. For that one. Shout out to Detroit Pistons, man. Basketball has never been so back. We're staying in the East with this one. The Bucks need to be respected as contenders based on Giannis alone. 10 being, yes, I have full faith in the Bucks because they have a top 3 player in the world. 1 is it could be Giannis, it could be Johnny, it could be Yamami. Lakers in 5.
It could be divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Lakers in 5. No,
Lakers in 5.
I think I would say a 2. And this is coming from one of the biggest Giannis fans you will find. And I want it to be known, Giannis has grown his game over the last 4 years. He's not just running dunk man anymore. And
statistically one of the best mid-range shooters in the league this year.
That's just a fact. So I want that to be respected. But I think honestly, I ain't gonna lie. If Bobby Portis had been playing this whole time, I would even say maybe. Because I'm that big on Bobby Portis, especially in playoffs where open shots and being big time is what Portis has done. But he's gonna be just getting back, if so, and then he's gonna need some time to ramp up. You know what I'm saying? I think this is gonna be a lot. And I can't go into it with Brook Lopez as the second guy confidently. See, I think it's a 2. Even though Kevin Porter Jr., terrible human, pretty good basketball player, been playing solid basketball, I don't think him and Kuz can be enough of support for Giannis to make a title run. I think they can get a series win. Like they may be able to beat. I think they're slated to play right now.
They're playing the Pacers right now.
The Pacers, yeah. I think Giannis without Dame fares better against the Pacers because then you could just go Giannis centric where he can do a little bit of everything. So I would still give him a chance to beat the Pacers, but I think the Pacers still come out victorious. So yeah, I think I'd give it like a 2.
Okay, Danny, where are you sitting on this one?
I was going to mention before I go.
Go ahead.
Shannon Sharp posted something earlier yesterday. He said, Lou Dort, Airport, Seaport, Taylorport, Lakers in 5.
Yeah, the Lakers fans are absorbing that win against Oklahoma City very well, and they should. And they should. No key players out for OKC. Lakers seemingly against every team under 500 just aren't good. Every team over 500. Luka is back, and Bronny's getting minutes at the end of the game.
Locked-in syndrome.
All is well. Yeah, they're locked-in syndrome, but they also have whatever it is syndrome against the 500 teams. But they do have a strong case of locked-in syndrome. Celtics have a good case of that as well, luckily.
Yeah, Chris, I think I'm with you here. I think like a 3 is pretty fair, or like a 3 or 4. I just don't know where I fall on this range. It's
okay.
Tricky.
Y'all want to hear my answer?
You're like an 8, aren't you?
I'm an 8. Now hear me out, because look at the path here, okay? They play the Pacers. Giannis can beat the Pacers. I'm more than confident in that. Then he'll play the Cavs. Would we take the best team in the East record-wise or the best player in the whole conference? It's something to at least consider, I think. Because Giannis has done this before. Back in 2022, he had to play Boston all on his lonesome. He took him to 7 games, no Chris Middleton. I don't know how much difference Chris Middleton at that point was going to make in that series, but still, Giannis averaged, I think, like 30 and 12 for the series. It wasn't his most efficient work, but what do we say about the playoffs? Unload the clip. And now he's a better shooter than he's ever been. And he's going to get on a well-rested Bobby Portis back. Regardless,
My boy BP.
Yeah, and I was just checking his stat line. His last couple games before the suspension, he had 3 20-point double-doubles, right before his suspension, so he was starting to heat up himself on a team where we're like, you know what, outside of Giannis and Dame, this team sucks. But Bobby is really reliable in the playoffs. I witnessed it firsthand. That's going to be huge. I'm saying an 8. If they were to meet Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, you can sign me up. And that would also be the best iteration of a Tatum-Giannis series. This will be their 4th time matching up, 3rd time as the guys, per se, which is hilarious because their first ever matchup, Tatum was the guy. Their next matchup, he wasn't. And then the next 2, assuming the next 2, they'll be the first and second best players in the East this time around.
Funny enough, I'm with you on everything. My only thing is, this is where the Cavs, them playing 2 bigs, kind of works to the advantage if it's just Giannis, because then he has to go through 2 footers. That's my only scare. Because if it's just one of them, if it's just Mobley, Bucks and 6. But with both of them down there and 12 fouls, and then you got Dean Wade, his random 6 fouls. There's a lot going on.
What if we entertain me donating my calf to Damian Lillard?
Then I'm ready to hear it.
How about Max Strus, 80-foot game winner?
Yeah, we haven't considered that. Strus has double magic. Strus has double magic. Dean Wade has been blessed by our Lord to just do really cool stuff sometimes.
I just thought about it.
That's something I haven't considered. Those 2 are different.
They do have double magic, but Giannis actually plays for 2 coaching devils himself. One who won't even take both his hands out of his pockets. So that's the only thing that scares me. Doc Rivers may say, you know what? No, Dame, I know you're here, Giannis. Let's run the offense through Ryan Rollins. And he may do something like that. I have no idea what Doc Rivers is going to do. I have no idea.
Here, I want to check out their last game. Let me see if I can find their last game against Cleveland. It was about last month, lost by 12. Damian Lillard was playing, Portis not playing. And it's like it looks like a let Giannis beat us game because he had 30 points, but to no avail. In that game, Max Strus had the Cavs beat the Bucks in this game. Their leading scorer being Max Strus with 17. Everyone was getting buckets, like everyone. Mitchell only had 15. He shot horribly. Garland didn't shoot good either. 13 points. Mobley had 13. I have no clue how they won this game, but I'm still giving it an 8. I like to give my that top 3. I would say the 3 guys who have legit arguments for best in the world. I give them a little bit more leeway, especially if they're healthy, especially Giannis, who will, in the moment, I think we're a little numb to what he's doing, but history will remember him. So let's move on to our next one. The Lakers have the highest ceiling and lowest floor of any contender. 10 being, yeah, they could either win the chip or go out first round, or 1 being, no, I think they're like their floor and ceiling are relatively close.
Give that a 7.
Okay.
I don't think that they're guaranteed to be very polar, go out in the first or win the finals. I think that they're more so a good team, good basketball team. That's why I give them a 7. I think that they could get an unlucky matchup, but I think they're a very good basketball team.
Okay, I like that.
Who called on my phone?
Who? I would say, is it Stacy? No, it's
Is it Ronnie?
Is it JJ? Is it Jordan? Good one. My bad. I would say 9. Only reason I say 9 is because the Cavs exist. I think the Cavs can win the championship or be out in the first round. I think the Lakers are the same way. I think the Lakers can win the ship, or they're a Luka, LeBron stink off away from Austin Reeves asking for a trade. No, I'm kidding, but I think they literally can be finals or bust, finals or first round. So I would say a 9, just because I think the only other team that has that same is the Cavs to me. So I would say that too. I think it's just because you see the potential of LeBron and Luka together. You're like, you know what? It's going to be hard to beat them 4 times in 7 games. But then you see a game they put together, you be like, you know what? Maybe us three can beat them in 7 games. You just never know. So I would say a 9.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Chris. And looking at their first round matchup right now, it's the Warriors. And can we go into that series 100% confidence the Lakers will absolutely beat them? No. That's going to be the most watched basketball series probably in the last decade. Since the first time we saw LeBron and Curry go at it in a playoff series. So, that could be a bloodbath early on. Let's say they drop to the 4 seed. Yeah, they'll have the Clippers in the first round.
Thanks. No thanks. No thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, and not to single them out, but a lot of the Western Conference could look this way. The Clippers could have the matchup line up their way, Western Conference Finals
easily, and the Clippers beat the Thunder in the finals. I mean, in the West Conference Finals. I know that. If Thunder are in there, they beat them.
The Warriors. Let's say the Warriors somehow fall to 7, and then they get the Rockets round 1. That's food. That's food. They're on to the next round. They'll probably have to run into the Lakers, but
I don't know.
I think I'm willing to use literally just the experience gap. Playoff Jimmy. Yeah, now it's real. Now he's not my
playoff fouling.
Real, by the way.
Playoff fouling by the Rockets. If they let the Rockets do that in the regular season, when he gets to the playoffs,
they let two Houston teams do that.
Hold up. What do you think the NBA refs are truly going to respect more? The way the Rockets play defense, or giving Jimmy Butler free throws? Because I watched the man score 23 points in a game where he made 4 field goals.
I think the Rockets, the way they play, because it's not just one person or 2 person, it's literally the whole team. So it's like, are you going to foul the whole team out? Or are you going to let it, especially in the playoffs where they let the moving screens go? That's why Draymond has been so successful in the playoffs. No moving screens. That's why he's so successful. Because if they call those fouls on Rockets, they got to call moving screens. And you're not calling moving screens because you need Curry to get his shots off. So that's the only thing for me. I think the Rockets, the team the Warriors don't want to see. I think the Warriors rather see the Lakers. They rather see the Lakers.
The Rockets did just do a good job on the Warriors. Maybe this isn't the time for me to spew.
And he has so much length. They just every position outside of Fred VanVleet. Brooks is 6'5". Amon's a freak of nature at 6'7".
Yeah, he's a small guard nightmare.
Literally, Tari can guard smaller players. They just have a lot of bodies to throw at this stuff. So I think that's the team they don't want. Not saying I'm with you. Even though I'm saying all this, I can see them easily winning in 5. But I think that's the team that they wouldn't want to see because it'd be a rough 5 if it is 5. And with Ime coaching, I think Ime is a very good coach. The perfect coach for this team, especially of how they play, their personality of the team. I think he's perfect. So it's my only thing.
All right, can I cook up? Let me cook, okay? Lakers fall to the 4 seed, sadly. The Mavericks win both playing games, get the 8th seed. They upset the Thunder round 1. Lakers take care of whoever they play round 1. Round 2, Lakers Mavs.
Sign me up because no Kyrie. Belt.
AD's giving out 40-20 games.
18-point losses. Thank you, Najee Marshall, for your contribution. Thank you.
That's pretty brutal. But it is the truth. But AD with Kyrie, that would have been like peak cinema. But
dare I say I would pick the Mavs if they had Kyrie. All I'm saying.
Nah, I wouldn't. Never would I do that.
Over the Lakers, just the way things are built over there, like the only problem is like, oh yeah, the Lakers can't stop Kyrie. Like they don't have a defender for Kyrie. They don't got a center for AD. Well, sadly, they don't have anyone for LeBron and Luka. So and apparently Austin Reeves these days. So
no Kyrie. We don't have anybody for no Kyrie, no Anthony Davis, Najee Marshall. I don't know if y'all paid attention to him, but Najee Marshall was a triple-double machine when Anthony Davis and Kyrie were out. If they were both to sit, Mavs in 6 because he's going to lead them like LeBron led the Cavs. I see it.
You ready for Philly native Eric Dixon coming in the
NBA? Legend.
Nova legend, by the way.
That just reminded me. I saw this like rap battle on TikTok, and someone was like, "I'm like Luka when LeBron not playing, connect with an AR-15."
It's kind of hard.
It was definitely nasty. It definitely went way harder than I just described it. But I couldn't remember the bar straight off the top of my head. Let's move to this next one. We were just talking about the Rockets. up-and-coming team like the Pistons. They also happen to have one of those 6'7" gremlins that just like were born to play basketball. The Rockets have a Western Conference Finals ceiling. 10 being I got them slotted in the Western Conference Finals. 1 is their Warriors fodder. 3. So they're losing their first round matchup.
Ooh.
Is that a yes? Is that a no?
Yeah, I don't think they win the first round.
Hmm.
I don't like this. I don't think this team's basketball translates perfectly to the playoffs.
I think their defense does for sure.
Their defense does, and that's really good for college basketball. In the NBA,
Well, yeah, I can see where you're coming from a little bit on that one.
in the NBA, it's not like you got to score, dude. Like
Top half of the league in points per game at the very least, if it counts for anything. But the I didn't know they were 28th in assists. Wow, that's brutal. I can see where you're coming from in that one. I'm a little bit more of it's a matchup based thing, so maybe I'm not that much higher than you. I'll say a 5 because that's where I've been falling when it becomes matchup based. Right now, they'd be playing the Wolves, and I kind of like them.
I love them over the Wolves. Love them.
I kind of like them in the Wolves. Yeah, the Wolves are more experienced. They just had their own big run, and they have the best player in the series. I like the Rockets' defense more. I like
blitz.
what Şengün's ability to stretch the floor might be able to bring Gobert out of the paint, and then that makes Amin a threat, like an entire threat around the rim. If you can get Rudy away from the rim, there's no one stopping Amin Thompson from just chilling in the dunker spot. Now, if Rudy wants to, if he wants to sag off and let Şengün get those little 10-foot, those little foul line 1-foot J's off, which I don't think I've seen him miss one to date, be my guest. And then we'll have Jalen Green and Anthony Edwards in the battle of Cougar lovers. But I'm going to say a 5. It depends on the matchup. I'd obviously like them against any of the play-in teams. I think that goes without saying. The Warriors, well, Chris made, I think, a really good case. I think experience could go a long way here. But if we're taking experience out of it, he's definitely swayed me a little bit. I don't see the Clippers falling that far down, but if that's the case, that could kind of be, that might be a nightmare. Because they're walking experience. So just a bunch of old heads. Norman Powell's a champion. Kawhi's a champion. James Harden is like as close to a champion as you can get without actually being one. Zubac, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar reincarnate. So I'll go 5.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was horrible.
Have you ever seen hold up? Have you ever seen the picture of it's like Zubac's initials, and then for every letter, like they put like an all-time great big. It's like for you, they put like Lou Alcindor. No, not Lou Alcindor because
Udonis Haslem.
Udonis Haslem's crazy, but like for the B, they'll put like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then for the A, they'll put like Hakeem Olajuwon.
Makes sense, dude. Zubac has games where you like, is he not a top 3 center? But I think for me, for the Rockets, I would say like 4. Only, even though all the stuff I said, I think they're very matchup dependent too, and I think they get the wrong matchup. Like I think the Clippers is a nightmare for the Rockets, an actual nightmare. So I think they get like a team too early on; they can easily be out. And I think they're gonna have to come to a decision if they're gonna let Fred really be the point guard in the playoffs, or they're gonna put Amin there, and you'll put more shooting on the court. Because then if you play Amin at the point guard, then it's a little easier to have him affect the game in more ways. I'd say a 4 though. Just I think they're very matchup dependent in the West.
Yeah, they're all kind of in the same area, just a little teensy bit down from each other. Next one is our second to last one. A play-in team can win a playoff series this season. 10 being I have a play-in team winning a playoff this season. 1 being why is this even a thing? Me personally, I'm gonna say, and a sad year for the play-in. I'm gonna say like a 3. A 3 or a 4. I think maybe a play-in team could maybe get a game or two off of somebody like the Wolves could probably they're just because of who they got could probably push
Would
one
the
of the
AC
top
count?
2 seeds. Huh?
The AC counts, right?
The 7 through 10 seeds. Yep. Yeah.
I think
And
the Grizzlies win that 7 seed, and they want to play the Rockets.
nah, I'm very confident in the Rockets against the Grizzlies because they just about the same amount of experience at this rate. I mean, the Grizzlies haven't seen the playoffs and what.
And the Grizzlies have the 2 best players in the game.
Fine. The Rockets will probably have like the next 5 or 6.
Yeah, probably. I could behind that.
And
then Zach
and they
Edey's
have the better coach.
Respect Ashton Hall, Desmond Bain. Respect him. No, I don't respect him because I don't.
Yeah, as of late,
No.
as of late, he's turned into Ashton Hall. So I don't know, and I don't know if that has. It's been before the Jenkins firing, so I'm not exactly sure what his deal is, but maybe it's a touches thing. Maybe
He
it's
peaked at TCU, like I told people.
he peaked when he got traded from Boston on draft night.
Oh, imagine I had Desmond Bain.
Oh my gosh, we would have got rid of Marcus Smart a long time ago.
Yeah, Marcus Smart would have been
because he's a better shooter while being like a great defender. So
the Celtics could really use a guy like Malcolm Brogdon.
we really couldn't because that's the fakest playmaker I've ever seen in my life. Like people are like, oh, they got a real traditional point guard, unlike Smart. Whole time Malcolm Brogdon is the biggest ball hog I've ever seen in my life. Shout out him, 6th man of the year. But he completely disappeared for the Miami series. And
Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dennis Schroeder, the Dennis Schroeder experience is certainly not worth it, I have to say. But back to the question at hand, though. It's not really about these like play in teams. Like a healthy Orlando is like something to like peek at. Hawks are always going to be fun, but like the top 2 seeds in each conference are the Cavs and the Celtics, so they're not losing. And the Thunder and Rockets, and like even if you're if you're skeptical about Houston. If the excuse is experience, I think that's fine. But as a team, as a unit, I think this is one of the best teams in the NBA, and their record backs it up. So,
yeah, give them a 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat-ish area, but it's no shade to the play-in teams. It's like I think we just got some damn good. We got some damn good top seeds this year.
Yep. NIL era basketball. What can I say?
NIL era basketball. And how does NIL affect the NBA?
It definitely does.
How does NIL affect Curry's legacy?
He would have been to UNC. He would never.
Oh my god! I saw a little like segment about that. They were like, "Would these NBA how would these stars be affected by NIL?" People were like, "Well, let's bring up sophomore Steph Curry from Davidson. Like he has his tournament run. Does he go to the NBA or does he stay at Davidson or does he, go to a big time school where he can make some big time money?"
You know what he does? He does exactly what his brother Seth Curry did. He leaves Liberty, goes to Duke. Boom.
Danny, I think I was on the phone with Danny. Danny, were me and you talking about Liberty the other day? And all like their rules and stuff?
We weren't talking about it, but we have to in the past.
Yeah, like Liberty is even crazier than BYU. I can't believe Del Curry's son went there.
Crazy.
There's no way. He had to get out of there.
And averaged 30, by the way. Well, 28, I want to say.
Did he break like all their school records? Like,
bro, he averaged 29 in college and broke all the records in 3 years. But in 2.5 years.
Trae Young averaged like 27 in college, right?
Yep, for 1 year. Steph did it twice. In points and assists.
Points and assists. That's why Caitlin Clark was never Steph Curry. She was Trae Young.
Try to tell people.
Just my thoughts. And trust me, that is not derogatory.
That's a compliment.
Trae Young, one of my 5 favorite players. Me and Chris both had him on our list on Twitter. Even though could have swore Chris had a guy named JB on his list.
Oh yeah, it was JB Bickerstaff. My bad. I love him as a coach.
All right, here's my last one for you guys. A Clippers ring does more for Harden's legacy than Kawhi's. 10 being absolutely. Harden definitely benefits more from a ring. Number 1 being no. Just no.
10.
12. Yeah, 10.
18.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Kawhi getting that third ring and probably third finals MVP, like we'll probably do him like some weird talks and like we'll do that whole thing again where it's like if he does this, he's top 10. And it's just like, look, when the guy is healthy and it's time to win a ring, like he's sure he's at his best, but not enough outside of that. Harden though, let me ask you guys this: Harden wins a ring. Harden wins Finals MVP.
I think he gets both if they win a ring. I think he gets both. I think he has
That's
to.
That's what I think. That's what I think. If he gets the Finals MVP in a ring,
Sorry, Dwayne Wade.
we
Sorry.
talked about Dwayne Wade already. Where does he just jump all time?
Well, he's the third best shooting guard of all time.
Third best shooting guard to ever lace him up.
And he's easily
And Dwayne Wade
top
about
25.
comfortably top 30, right?
Yeah, I would say D-Wade's top 30. I would say James Harden is top
20.
30, 35. If he wins this and gets the finals, but I think he's top 35 because you could look at James Harden in 3 different careers. Kind of like you look at for Brian. You could look at 6-man Harden, ultra scoring Harden, ultra scoring and playmaking Harden, and then now you got playmaking Harden. And he's been successful in every round. May not be a championship in every round, but he's been successful. I think that matters for something. History's going to look back on him very kind, like it will on Giannis. I think we're going to look at those 36, 8, and 11 days where he averaged that. We're going to look at that very, very differently when he's done.
I think we look back at James Harden the way we look back at Steve Nash.
We're like, I think I think it's just a hard comparison because Steve Nash like literally did not become a great basketball player until like 30. He was like the weirdest thing ever. But he was damn good. Don't get me wrong. He stole an MVP from Kobe and Shaq. That's not easy. Regardless of what narratives go into it, that's hard. So, but I can kind of see your vision.
Yeah.
I actually did think of one more just because I kind of want to like pop my collar a little bit. Jason Tatum gets a Finals MVP. He is a certified. He could retire right now and be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, in the NBA, yes. In the NFL and most other sports, no.
Yeah.
Well, the NFL, you can't win gold medals in the NFL.
Yeah, in the NBA, I mean, the Hall of Fame in the NBA is a basketball Hall of Fame.
You can. Coming now, you can.
Jalen Hurts, first recipient of the NFL flag gold medal. Peak cinema.
As Lamar's backup, because if you have a flag football team and Lamar Jackson is not your quarterback, I think you're smoking crack.
Honestly, through the 4 weeks that we've been playing flag, love Patrick Mahomes to death. I think he's the best quarterback in the league and one of the 5 best quarterbacks to ever lace him up. Lamar Jackson has to be the quarterback. He would put these other teams in binds. And that's just through 4 weeks of playing flag in comparison with real football. Whew.
Imagine the backfield has any combination of Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, like it has to be Gibbs, it has to be Robinson, it has to be the shiftier guy. Like it can't be like Saquon shifty, so maybe Saquon can still, but like it can't be Derrick Henry, it can't be David Montgomery. Like it's
Saquon and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the two. That's 2 right there. It's both of them. It's Saquon.
I like that. I like that.
I said Bijan first, but as I think about it,
like
Saquon
Gibbs
did
is
jump over a
so
grown
shifty
man backwards. You got to put him out there. I got to.
Yeah.
I got to put him out there somehow.
Wait, he did that with pads on too.
That's what I'm saying. So he has to be out there in the backfield somehow, some way. Even if he's playing, we'll make a position for him. But Saquon's got to be out there so he can jump over somebody back. He's got to.
Yeah, and the way that we play flag in like our tournament, there's someone who usually sits back. You can do double passes and stuff. Danny actually threw a touchdown on it last week.
Nice.
CJ wanted me to do it, but like I had injured myself. But hey, you can always rely on Danny. Mohamed Sanu would have certainly loved that. He would have loved that spot.
Yeah, he would have.
The receiver who gets to throw the occasional pass. I mean, he is the highest quarterback rating of all time. I'm pretty sure. Minimum 10 attempts. But yeah. But the point of the question was for me to say that Jason Tatum is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a 2-time gold medalist right now. He'll be a 2-time champ, Finals MVP,
and he'll be higher than wherever people have Kawhi. I want that to be known. He'll be higher than that.
Oh, with a Finals MVP alone. Because something I don't think is taken into consideration enough when it comes to Tatum. He's about to have more like first team All NBAs than Dwayne Wade
and Curry.
I
want that to be known.
He already has more than Paul. The first time he ever cracked first team All NBA, he had more than Paul Pierce.
Yep.
And he's about to have his 4th straight first team All NBA season.
Yep.
So for 4 straight years, he's been a consensus top 5 player.
Yep.
We'll say like 5 to 7, 4 to 7.
He's been top 3 in his position for maybe 8 for 7 years at the least. Top 3 or 5.
Yeah.
Whether you put him at the 3 or the 4, he
should be knocking at his 6th All NBA appearance, but they decided to give it to Julius Randle in 2021, which is
dubious handles. Certainly a decision.
Yes. Because that season, I think Tatum was no lower than 2nd team All NBA, but because the Celtics weren't good, there's nothing I could do about it. The streets will always remember April, Jason Tatum, 2021. He dropped 450 balls, 160 ball in the span of like 4 weeks. Playing 50 ball, gave KD Nets 50 ball to avoid the sweep with Peyton Pritchard and friends.
Yeah, he was wild.
We won't forget it. But that's pretty much all the questions and stuff I had. I hope I cooked on this, this kind of segment. It definitely gives us a chance to prowl around the league, see what we're liking, see what we're not liking. We definitely, we haven't had a chance to talk about the Rockets all too much. The only time we really ever talk about him is about Evil Twin, which my new favorite nickname, I think.
Yeah, that's elite. That's elite. Because Asar looks nicer just on the court, but Asar is just enough of a maniac too. And that's what I'm telling you. In the playoffs, I think he played more 4 and point forward, and you put the ball in his hands, and you let Cade kind of not play the dunker, but you let him post the smaller guards. You can easily cut off that. Malik Beasley's still out there spreading the floor.
Tobias Harris, assassin scorer.
Tobias Harris will need to be on the court to spread the floor. He will need to be out there and to be a big body. But
because you need walk-in 15. I know.
You need 13 points.
Automatic 15 points per game.
You can always use 13 points on 47% shooting. You can always use it when it's not being paid.
I don't know his shooting percentages off the back of my hand, so I'm actually going to find that out.
I made 47% up, but I'm pretty sure it's close.
You know how like the Tobias
14 points per game on 47%. Yes,
I may have cooked IDK. I may know
33% from 3 is on. I'm surprised he's only shooting 3.5 a game.
But think about it. Every 3 shots, every 3 threes gonna make 1.
Yeah,
he got you for 1.
That is fair.
Yeah,
not always there when you call, always on time type of thing. So
they said the Phillies fans made this funny joke. They said Tobias Harris over me. They said that, but it's Jeff Hoffman and Jordan Romano. he said Romano over me.
Over me?
Oh my god.
Jimmy Butler had it right.
This is definitely Evil Twin to cap off what has been a great nickname NBA season, the Great Barrier Thief.
That might be my favorite damn near of all time. That's like
the anomaly.
You try to slide that in there. No, don't you slide that in there.
The Duke of Boston.
That's it. Now that's what we can rock with. The Duke of Boston.
The Duke of Boston. But people are like, that's too like straightforward. I'm like, I don't care. However, let's say Cooper Flag magically finds his way onto the Celtics. We are calling him that. So
we are calling him that.
He is the Duke of Boston. Tatum's the anomaly.
It's our last episode of basketball for the regular season.
It's true, because we're football. Next episode, going to be talking some of our favorite linebackers, defensive backs. And then we're playoff basketball, baby.
And why is Malachi Starks going to be a Raven?
He's going to be he's going to be an Eagle. Not saying we need him.
Chris,
but
you make a mistake by not taking Nick Eamon-Mourier.
No. I want either or. Nick, if you give one of the two, just give me one of the two.
The Steelers are taking Jackson Dart.
That's
in the first round.
I've been seeing.
You're taking Shedeur Sanders, actually.
You're trading up to get Dart, actually.
No, you're trading up to get Shedeur.
You're trading up to 5 get Dart.
And I
ready. We sign Aaron Rodgers. We trade up to 5. Get Ashton Genty, and we going all in.
Trading up to 5 for Ashton JT.
If you trade up to 5 and don't take Shedeur Sanders, I'm going to spit more hate on the Steelers just because it'll give me a reason to root for the Steelers again a little bit.
Aaron Rodgers, Genty, DK, Pickens, it would be pure cinema.
I don't know. According
that is 9 wins at the least.
Apparently, none of the top teams are going to take Sanders. So he could just creep and fall, and that gives the Steelers a better shot to trade up for him. Saints could get a shot to trade up for him.
I think the Saints do it. That's my thought. I think the Saints do it. I think they low key do it.
I
That's
mean,
my thought.
they're a type of team that could, if they really want their quarterback and they want to trade up and get him, or just take him at their
Hey,
spot,
man.
they could do it. They're also bad enough just to
Shadurn
take
looks
best player
good.
available.
It
He
went
did look. I
gold.
thought he had an amazing pro day.
No, I'm saying he
I've
looked good
never.
when gold.
I feel like the biggest knock on him right now is he takes too many sacks and he doesn't have like a bazooka strapped to his shoulder. But like, he's made all the biggest throws when he's need to, and the sack issue. Look, we'll get there when he's behind like actual humans and not bots.
Literally.
No, his
So-
O-line's awful. His
I don't
O-line's
know. I don't know. A lot of people are starting to fall into the like, oh, he's not like a first round pick quarterback. I'm like, well, we're doing a complete 180 on the
Crazy
kid.
thought.
Not me. Not me. I'm sticking to the mid round projection. That's where I think he should go, and maybe he'll still go a little bit higher. That's just me.
I got a question for both of you.
all right.
Put him and Justin Fields in the same draft. Which one are you taking?
Fields. I liked Fields a lot as a prospect,
I did
and
as well.
I'm just disappointed that he's already on his third team. But I saw the pic of him walking into the Jets facility today,
Or
and the aura. I'm back.
also,
he has
Too much aura. It's
I
too
told
much
you he has
he
aura.
arms. He literally just aura.
my answer to that question, Danny, I make sure I got 2 picks in the first round. I take both of them, and then we run the Army offense, and I need 2.
What team did that? What team did that? They drafted.
It would be like the Johnny Flynn draft, where
Yeah,
we're
they
going to Johnny
drafted
Flynn and Rubio and leave Steph Curry out.
and then like the third quarterback is Cam Ward. He turns out to be Steph Curry.
No, dude, I can't believe. And Johnny Flynn, bro. If you like college basketball, he was an elite college basketball player. Elite. There's no way on God's green earth do you leave out of that draft with 2 point guards and none of them were named Wardell Curry at birth. That is absolutely
Wardell
insane.
Curry.
That is absolutely insane to me.
Her, while we're on the topic real quick of electric college guards, can you explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, why Walter Clayton can't be picked anywhere in the first round?
He
He
can.
will
No,
probably
no, no.
be 7.
He needs to be a top 20 pick. I will die on the
20
hill.
pick.
He'll
He
crack
needs
the
to be a
top
fucking
30.
top 20 pick.
What
He'll-
team would be most ideal for him?
What team would be ideal for him?
Yeah, like does
The
it have to
Denver
be
Nuggets.
a contending team? Does it have to be a team
Denver
that's like
Nuggets.
pretty bad so he can develop?
A team that's
Denver
good that needs microwave scoring. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Nuggets.
So
a
the Celtics.
Nuggets.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind a Nuggets team. Or to be honest
Nah,
with
you guys have Peyton Pritchard. Please shut up. Like you guys have Peyton Pritchard.
they're gonna.
You have him.
The Cavs
You ever
are
heard
gonna
of greed?
The Cavs
can't be
are gonna
greedy.
lose Ty Jerome. They're gonna lose a couple people. I think the Cavs would be a really nice place for him to go, even though he's a smaller guard, microwave scoring.
Yeah, if Ty Jerome's out the
Nuggets.
door, then
All right. I'm claiming Walter Clayton as one of my favorite players coming into this draft.
that's cool. I gotta
He's like
find
my
a guy.
Jared-
I gotta find a guy for sure.
He's like he's my McCain. I also love Johnny Broom. He's a beast.
He's 87 years old and he can't jump over a notebook. But if it was 1997, he'd probably be a top 7 pick.
No, I love him as a player. I'm not saying he's gonna be great.
Oh no, I love him
Gonna
as a
go
player
into
too.
the draft this year.
Like Lofton. Like Kenneth
He
Lofton.
can't.
Like Lofton was an elite college player, but it's like he just can't
Kenneth
stick in the NBA because he can't do anything.
Hold on.
Burns last year, DJ Burns, great in college.
Will Knipple enter the draft or no?
He got to.
I think he will, but I think he benefits even more playing next to Cam Boozer next year than he did with Cooper Flag, only because easy kickouts and drawing kicks. But I think he
Both
leads.
of
too
those are
bad.
twins, man.
BYU winning it all next year.
And they're getting a
Big
surprise
trade.
transfer guard. Remember, I told y'all this when it happens. When they get a surprise transfer guard,
6-year Caleb Love.
No, he's going to be getting CDL, unfortunately.
How
We
about
have-
Amiri Stewart? Sacred Heart. BYU.
I'm cool with that.
Actually, you know what? I have my guy. I'm pretty sure he has no more eligibility left. I'm just gonna double check,
Amiri?
but no, not Amiri. But Amiri, that goes without saying. But that's like too much bias. But this guy has like I have like bias to him, but like not too much. I don't like personally know him. But Jamal Mashburn Jr. Y'all want to see this funny stat that Temple men's basketball hoops put on Instagram? Here are the only 2 players to score 2,300 points, 350 rebounds, 250 assists, make 500 free throws, shoot 80% from the line, and have less than 240 turnovers in college basketball.
Dang.
Ever.
That is random, but a pretty useful stat.
Jamal Mashburn Jr. and Larry Bird.
What?
Yes, Jamal Mashburn Jr., bro. I promise you, get him on the right team. I'm telling you. That's my dog. That's
Yeah.
my dog. He can hoop. But Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, download the episode, 5-star review, leave a comment if you can, all that good stuff from AP New Freezer, Culture by Amigos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Get swole, take Trent.